Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Natasha and I'm gonna give you my 5 top reasons of why you are not progressing. And this can be applied towards anything in general, but most likely because this is a fitness and health channel, it's gonna be applied mostly to your fitness and health, or your workout routine, maybe a little bit of food, but mostly your workout routine. So number 1, I'm going to try and be precise because I like to talk or drag things out as I'm already doing it right now. Number 1 is accountability. So for the majority of clients that I have worked with, the main thing that they have a hard time kind of getting in the groove for or with is accountability or showing up. That is the hardest part in the beginning when you're starting a new routine or a new habit. The beginning stages are challenging to kind of, you don't know what in the world you're doing. You might feel insecure, or you don't have a routine down, or you have a hard time adapting when things that you wanted to do are taken in the gym, especially in January, February, when the gym typically gets a little bit busier. The main thing is if you don't show up, nothing is going to change. Okay. So accountability, if you know yourself and you've tried and then you've fallen off, and then you tried and then after a few weeks or months you've fallen off, and then you feel a little bit sad or down or disappointed in yourself as you didn't keep it up, or you're not in the mood, you didn't feel like it, you're tired, you're overwhelmed from work or responsibilities or financial hardships or your kids or your older parents, and everyone's kind of pulling and tugging you in all kinds of directions. That's called boundaries, so learn to cut away people, places, and things that are not a top priority, because you are still just one human being trying to make it just like everybody else, and your health is important. So find a way to make it happen, or just show up, whatever it is you're choosing to explore in the beginning. Hopefully, if you're watching this is more of, I'm talking to the beginners or the huge chunk of the population who are not already in the gym all the freaking time, like it's part of brushing their teeth every single day, that you are part of the population who are still trying to work their way towards that, as it's going to benefit your life in so many different ways. And if you are someone who's already fallen in love with the gym, send this to someone who has not yet, to help get them on that track. Number 2, whatever you're doing is not challenging enough. So if you're not seeing that you're progressing the way that you wished you were, and you're like, oh, I've been working out for this many months and I don't understand, and I've been doing this and I've been doing that and I've been doing this and I've been doing that, then maybe whatever you're doing is not challenging your body enough. It's just not hard enough in order to get the results that you're looking for. And that really depends on, where are you starting? Are you someone who is 500 pounds? I'm going to exaggerate, and you need to lose weight. So your approach is going to look different than the skinny little stick who has a hard time keeping weight on. Your approaches are going to look different in how to progress, and the challenge is going to look different for those two opposite sides. So you have to find what is challenging enough, not just comfortable, whatever the definition is for you. So you need to feel like you're struggling a little bit. It's still doable. You can still do the form pretty well. I like to tell everyone to do resistance training or weight training. But then you need to look at how are you doing it. Not everyone can apply the same exact technique with one exercise. You know, I've seen a lot of boo-boos with that, and they say they're doing something, but then the way they're actually moving through the exercise is not quite correct. So look at the challenge. Should feel challenging. So you need to put yourself in a challenging workout situation, but not challenging where you're going to injure yourself or you're only just sweating. So that depends. Maybe that's a different whole thing. Number 3, your solution does not match your current goals. So let me repeat that again. Your solution does not match your current goals. So sometimes what you think is the right solution for whatever you're trying to achieve is not quite in line with the reality of how to do that. So ask a professional, or, you know, get different advice. For example, a lot of females fall into this trap is, I want to lose weight. I don't look good. I don't feel good about myself. My pants are tight now after all the holidays. And now I'm going to freak out because I'm gaining weight and I feel sad. Now I'm going to do a ton of cardio. You do a ton of cardio for a long time. Maybe it helps a little bit, but then after months or so, you're like, I'm still unhappy with myself, or I still don't look the way that I want to look, you know? And so that is where it's like, well, that was a piece of the solution, but that wasn't exactly the approach or tools of what you're actually wanting. So if you actually wanted to look toned and a little bit more muscular, which does not mean that you're gonna look like a giant 200-pound football player muscular if you're a female. Toned is the same as muscle building. It is literally the same thing. Do not be scared of more muscle. If you're a female, you do not have enough testosterone in your body to get that way, unless you know you are shooting up some steroids on a daily basis, eating a ton, and working like crazy in the gym. So you don't have the amount of testosterone to do something like to look like that. And regardless, you're not going to transform into that tomorrow. Like, that's the most ridiculous delusion that you can kind of fall into, you know. And I am a female. I have been lifting weights since I was probably like 23, 24. So almost like 15 years or so. And I used to work out literally every single day, 30 minutes when I was super rushed and tight on time, but I still got myself to get into the gym and do something. And at my longest sometimes, because I had to be somewhere morning shift and night shift, and my afternoons were when I would work out, sometimes 2.5 hours, and a lot of legs, a lot of back, a lot of single leg stuff. And I was hungry. I ate all the time. The more you work out and build muscle, you are going to feel a little bit hungry, but I would still get like looked at or talked about of like, oh, you weigh that much, you don't look like you weigh that much, you know. And so the weight on the scale is going to over time fade a little bit if you get in the healthier mindset and not so obsessed about the number on that scale. So like my high school weight used to be a steady 135. I'm 5'4". But now, like right now, I'm not super lean. I'm on the heftier side. And what is your definition of hefty? If you look at me, I'm 156 pounds at 5'4", but right now sitting at about 22% body fat, and that is higher for me. So it's always perception. And I am someone who can deadlift 315 usually, you know, pretty consistently, and I'm approaching 40, you know. So lifting heavy weight does not equate to looking like a giant muscular She-Hulk. Okay, so get that out of your mindset. Trust the process. Lift weights. It doesn't mean lift heavy weight that is not reasonable for you. There's a process to that, and you have to actually practice and go to gym school. Basically go to the gym, lift weights almost every day like you're taking a bath or brushing your teeth, and forget about, you know, the scale. Forget about, oh no, I'm not looking the way I want to in like 3 weeks time, 2 months time. You have to think, get that out of your mind. It will come if you keep persistent with it and you genuinely try and you genuinely feel what you're trying to feel, and you create a little bit of challenge, yet it's tolerable, and then you eventually progress. You don't just stay the same forever. You're going to be set up for disappointment if you do. Okay. So that was number 3. Number 4 is you have to give it time and you have to trust, you know. So this is the part where a lot of people don't give the time, they quit too soon, and they do not trust. They are scared of, sometimes they're scared of the results that are going to happen, so therefore they prevent themselves from progressing to a future form of themselves that they would have actually liked or wanted. So time and trust. You have to give it time. You have to give it a genuine amount of time. This is not speed dating. This is not social media quickness or putting something so complex into a tiny little paragraph and just assuming that you know it. It is not like that at all. This is not like relationship advice and then that little tiny social media post represents all of it, you know, and miscommunicating, misjudging what the reality is. It's not like that. So you have to give it genuine time, genuine care, genuine work ethic over a long period of time. And you have to just trust the process of like, okay, I don't like where I am right now. This is what I've currently been doing for a long time, and it's still not progressing me even close to what I want. And I know there are benefits to whatever X, Y, and Z is. There's a ton of research about it. Sure, there might be a little bit of cons or negatives to literally everything, you know. So for the most part, like weightlifting or Pilates or wherever you're going to be starting off with, if it's not something that you're doing now and you know it's good for you or you know it'll progress you to the next level, you're gonna have to try try and explore it. Don't stop because you're fearful or you're not going to give it a good effort and try, and just dream in la la land of something that you want to happen, but you're not going to do the work. Okay. You know, this seems to be a big problem in the world or in America. We have so much money invested in research. But the problem with research is that doesn't mean that the person actually applies all of that research and gives it genuine amount of effort and time and work ethic, you know. So, you know, you can be someone who wishes and wants to make more money. So you research how to make more money, how to invest more money, how to do more money. But that doesn't mean that you necessarily do all the things or restrict yourself from unnecessary spending, cutting back on things that you do want but you don't need, you know, doing the hard stuff that no one really likes to do in order to get that result. So always think about that. Like, it might just be working out. It's going to be your food or your drinking. Like, you know that you're drinking wine or beer every single day. One of the number one things is you can't drink alcohol, or you can't drink it that often and expect to be leaner or lose weight or lose that beer belly. You know, you're going to have to sacrifice. You know, it's going to be different for all of you, but you have to be real with yourself too. So give it time and trust the process. We can even throw a sacrifice in there. You have to sacrifice a little bit of what you might want. But if you really want the end goal or whatever it is, relating to fitness, health, you want to feel better, look better, get leaner, get stronger, there are some things that you have to cut back on, and that's going to be dependent on your own habits and how honest you are with yourself or with whomever you're trying to seek help from. Okay. And then number 5 would be rest. When we are resting, sleeping, that is when we're actually building more muscle and recovering. So sleep is so important. If you find yourself falling to habits that don't really bring value to yourself, you have to question, why am I doing this? You know, what is the deeper reason as to why you mindlessly scroll on social media before bed when it doesn't really do anything for you, and it eats up time from your sleep, you know. So it's just readjusting your habits, but you have to think about rest in order to progress, in order to feel better, in order to push more in your workouts or to grow muscle more efficiently. Just to feel better, have a better mood, you need rest, good quality sleep, and then other outliers, why you're not progressing. Like, well, what if you have hyperthyroid or hypothyroid, you need to get medication. Other little things that are unique to each and every one of you, whether that applies to you now, never, or maybe in the future. So think about that, or think about, you know, some people come to me and they've gone through knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries, you know, they have certain things that we have to work around. And so you can still work out and have like a decent workout, but now we have to work around your unique outliers that might not be what the majority have to go through, or they don't go through it quite yet. So think about those things. Like, what are your challenges and how can you overcome your personal challenges of not progressing, but you can eventually find a way. Yeah. So hopefully that was concise, but not at the same time, because I do tend to ramble. Hope that was helpful. If you know anyone who would benefit from this video, another one out of the however many thousands, maybe millions of videos onto how to work out, how to get leaner, how to get a bigger booty, how to look toned, blah, blah, blah. Everyone has a plethora of information out there. Number one is you better show up. You know, show up. Nobody else cares that much about what you're doing unless you're doing something really outlandish, or you're going to injure yourself or someone else. For the majority, like, don't feel that intimidated. And if you're intimidated in the gym, get a personal trainer, start with a group class of some sort to kind of get you a little bit more familiar. But the main thing is you have to somehow get yourself to do something that's a little bit more challenging, and you actually have to show up for yourself. Because if you don't show up, nothing is going to happen. If you get a job, you don't show up, you're going to get fired. If you have a job and you show up late over and over again, you're probably going to be the first to be let go of. Or if you work one-on-one with clients or patients, you better show up way before the patient or client shows up. That's part of the job. So don't expect people to be mad when they're paying you and you're showing up late all the time, eating up their time, and they have a life too. It's not like the world revolves around you. So, you know, think about things like that. Do it for yourself, show up for yourself. Otherwise, not much is going to happen. Make the time, prep your bag, your gym bag the night before. Your busy life, whether you have a busy life or not. What do you need to prepare? What time are you going to go? How long does it take you to get from point A to point B and point B to point A again if you're going in the middle of the day? What is the traffic like? Blah, blah, blah. You know, plan for these things ahead of time. And if you're not a planner, learn to plan a little bit. You know, that's the challenge. Push yourself a little bit to do something that you normally wouldn't do, but you know overall it would be good for you, you know. And if it's not good for you, then don't do it. You know, it's pretty simple in that way. So I hope this video helped. If you find it informative, please subscribe and like. Check out my other workout videos. Share this with someone that you may find helpful. Your girlfriend, whomever, your mom, your sister, nieces, nephews, people who have a hard time starting. The main thing is start small. Be realistic, it's doable, and see if you can stick with it, and then progress teeny tiny bit, you know, so this way it doesn't feel like a crazy, chaotic jump into your life or whatever, you know, ease into it. Everyone's a little bit different. So yeah, check out my other channel, Natasha's Creative Wellness, if you're into astrology. So that's more of a creative tool in order to improve yourself, be more reflective, and it's kind of fun. So yeah, catch you next time. Okay, bye.